Hello and welcome to another video with Gamers Class. This is Hizzy here, guys, and today we're going to be doing a replay walkthrough of one of my games that I played. I'm going to be basically walking you guys through my decision making in this particular game, how I won this game, what I exactly did and what exactly I had in my mind that led us to a victory, and something that you can also replicate in your games, right? I'm currently on the 900 MMR in 900 rank in Southeast Asia, and this was probably a 7k average MMR game, right? So if you're anywhere below this, right, or anywhere close to this replay walkthrough is actually going to help you out a lot. So without any further ado, let's get right into it.
If you like this kind of content, go to gamersguys.com. For just $10 a month, get your replays analyzed, watch masterclasses with pro players, join weekly coaching sessions, win prizes, and more with our Supreme Dota 2 membership.
So let's start off with the starting items. Now, I am gonna buy a Ring of Regen. That's how the new safe lane works. Most safe laners are buying Ring of Regen because it's very cheap now. It only costs 175 gold, and it gives you way more value compared to other items like a circlet or maybe even a salve or extra tangos. So potentially this is going to give you 1.5 HP regeneration, right? And it's way better than buying a salve or a tango because it's just going to be there all the time. So if I manage not taking a lot of harass, this 1.5 HP regeneration is actually just going to keep me alive in the lane, right? And once I buy my Ring of Health, which I will for my Battle Fury, it's going to be almost impossible for the enemy to zone me out. So that's why I start with the Ring of Regen. I also start with an Iron Branch and a Slipper of Agility. Slipper of Agility because I'm going to go into a raid band probably into the game. And the Iron Branch so I can eat a tango from this Iron Branch. So I technically have like 4 tangos here almost, right? Because I'm going to get double regen with the Ironwood tree. So I have 4 tangos, a Ring of Regen, and I won't really necessarily need a lot of healing. And if I do, I can ask my Caudle for the healing. I can ask him to give me a tango, I can ask him to buy salves or whatever, so I can boost up my farm. Also, guys, apart from the starting items, in this game I was looking at the enemy picks, and this is not a good anti-mage game. Now, why is not a good anti-mage game? One, I cannot really solo kill the Tide. I can never pressure this Tide in the lane as well because he's just stronger than I am. They don't have a lot of intelligence heroes. They only have one intelligence hero, Enchantress. And Enchantress doesn't really care about Anti-Mage. So Anti-Mage is good against spellcasters and intelligence heroes, and they don't have any. So they don't really care about Anti-Mage this game. And what I'm thinking about Anti-Mage in this particular game is like 2 things that Anti-Mage is good at. 1, farming really fast. 2, taking almost no damage from magical heroes. Right? So what I'm thinking is I have to outfarm the enemy really hard to win this game. If I don't, I'm gonna lose. So that means if the PA and I are both equal farm, I'm gonna lose this game. I have to at least have 2 more or at least 1 more item slot than this guy into the mid game and the late game. And that's what I'm focusing on. So as the game goes on, I will show you guys how I executed this farming fast strategy that I had. So I took mana break here so I can secure the range creep. I messed up, I couldn't secure the range creep, and as soon as I mess up, they know I messed up and they're gonna harass me a lot for it. And I'm just trying to burn their mana as much as I can here. That's what you want to do as an anti-mage. Just keep the enemies low mana so they don't harass you with the mana that they have. I did take a lot of damage over there, and eventually they just want to use their mana before I burn it down. That's what people are going to do against you when you're playing anti-mage, so you have to be careful about it. Overall CS is still pretty okay. I have 5 CS out of 8, which is okay. And at this point it's just pretty much CSing. So I want to burn this Earth Spirit's mana as much as I can. So on this game I'm actually communicating with the Caudle a lot. I'm telling him to secure range creep, I'm telling him to harass the enemy, and I'm giving him all kinds of communication in this game. This is something that you want to do in your pubs as well. Also, you want to try and keep the creep wave right here. You always want to stay under the tower, so you have more armor and more regeneration. Right now, I have like 12 regeneration just because I'm under the tower, and I have more armor, right? So, more regen I have, obviously stronger I will be in the lane. Again, as I mentioned, Anti-Mage is not that strong against Tide in the laning stage, but my main goal here is to hit creeps and farm as fast as I can. That's it. I'm not here to zone out the Tide at all. So I'm just focusing on my CS. I'm not even trading with the Tide because I know I can't. At the same time, I'm telling the Caudal to secure creeps that I can't, and he's doing a pretty good job at it, so we're not losing a lot of experience. And at the same time, I'm telling him to pull, so I can have a better time here. Now I'm gonna go and buy the ring, and as I mentioned, once I have the ring of health and ring of regeneration, I will have like 8 HP regen, and then I have 2.8 base HP regen as well. So that's like 10 HP regen, and it's almost impossible for the enemy to zone me out. Like right now I can be really aggressive because I know I can go back to full HP really fast.
Illusion.
So the Earth Spirit actually messed up here. This wasn't really any big play from me. I just wanted to secure a creep, and the Earth Spirit messed up, and yeah, we get a free kill, which just makes things way easier. The only play I could say here that I made was that I bought this magic stick, right? This magic stick actually saved me. If you noticed, it gives me like... So, well, the reason why I actually buy this magic stick in the first place is because the Tide is spamming a lot of spells, right? So I was like, maybe it's gonna help me out there, but it actually does over here as well. So if you notice, he uses his W, he hits me once, I use my magic stick, and I live with like almost 10 to 15 HP just because of that magic stick, and of course extra armor and regen coming in from the tower. So it's these small kind of things that you want to abuse, and that's what most immortal players do to get an advantage. You have to know these things so you can actually abuse them. That the tower gives you more armor and the tower gives you more regen. You want to buy a magic stick when the enemy is spamming a lot of spells. It's just these small things. It's not even a big thing, right? It's a cheap item, very basic concepts. But if you work on them, you can actually get a really big advantage. Now I will mess up over here. I basically wanted to like force his gush onto himself, but I couldn't. I messed up and I died. And that is a very big misplay as an anti-mage. Like I told you guys, my only goal in this lane was supposed to be just hitting creeps, right? And as soon as I get my goal onto killing the Tide, I die, right? So you want to be very clear on your goal in a certain lane. Earlier on, my focus was CSing and the lane was going good. As soon as I changed that focus, I die, right? So even before a certain lane starts, you want to have a clear mind on what you want to do in a certain lane. So I'm constantly looking at mid just to see, you know, what's happening on the map, if the Ember is rotating, if he has a rune, you know, because the Tide now has a Ravage, and if he asks one guy to rotate bottom, I can actually die to the Ravage because he's quite strong. So at this point, I just want to hit creeps, and he's very strong. At this point, I can't even like walk up to the creep wave. It's just very hard. If you notice, he's very strong now.
Double kill.
Again, once I start focusing on CSing, the enemy has to make the move rather than me messing up. They will make a move like, oh, this anti-mage is farming. Let's do something about it. He's farming way too much. I want to use Ravage. I want to make a kill on him. And eventually they end up feeding double kill to me. They also rotate the PA bottom. That means I can go top and I can have a free lane top. This is just like the perfect scenario for me as an anti-mage. Also, in this particular game, I'm literally rushing the Battle Fury even without a boot. And why am I doing this? Because I know I can't have a strong laning anyways. So I might as well just buy that Battle Fury and just AFK farm as fast as I can. Because I mentioned earlier on in the game that I want to outfarm this PA in a way where I have at least 1 or 2 more slots. So far, net worth and farm is really good. Like, I want to be ahead of the PA, and I actually am. Even though I didn't have the best laning stage against the Tide. The PA does have more CS than I do, but they messed up giving me some kills. And since I'm rushing... So if you notice, since I'm rushing the Battle Fury, the PA is going to be way more underfarmed than I am. Now, he would also be very close to his Battle Fury, but since he bought that Treads, which is like 1450 gold, instead of that, I have my Broadsword, and I'm very close to my Battle Fury. So that means once I get that Battle Fury, even without the Treads, I'm going to farm really fast. And instead of the PA going for this Treads, his Battle Fury is going to be delayed, which means his farm is also going to be delayed at the same time. The Treads, guys, or Face Boots or whatever, is a laning stage item. This helps you pressure the lane. Yes, it helps you farm faster as well because you have more attack speed, more agility, but of course, the Battle Fury just helps you farm faster. So if you just want to AFK farm in a particular game, you want to rush Battle Fury even if you don't have to buy a boot or whatever. I would say over here though, normally Gloves of Haste would be really nice so I can farm fast. But since all my item slots are full, I didn't really want to buy a Glove of Haste so I can farm fast. I'm just like, let's just rush Battle Fury straight up. Also at the same time, guys, this is something very important. I'm constantly looking at the map. And I'm looking at what kind of dangers that I have. Like, I'm seeing the Tide bottom, I'm seeing the PA bottom, I'm looking at the Ember, like, I'm looking at how they will gank me and what they can do. And this information is very important for me. More information I have, that means more aggressively and more openly I can split push on the map. So I see the enemies at mid, clearly. And that means I can freely get the top tower. And I, at this point, don't really care about what's happening in the team fights. I'm just doing my thing. I'm just farming. Remember, the goal is to have at least 1 or 2 more slots than the PA does. Now, I will TP here because they're diving very deep. I want to talk about this TP. So the reason why I TP here is there's 2 reasons. One, I know the PA is going top because they already got this bottom tower. The PA is not showing bottom anymore. So he's doing either 2 things. He's either farming this jungle camp or he's going top. And in my head at this point was like, PA will go top. And he actually is. If you notice on the map, he actually is. So I was like, okay, I cannot farm here. I've already farmed this camp. I've already farmed this camp. Now I could go back to my jungle. I can farm these 2 camps. These 2 camps are available right now. But at the same time, they're diving, and I feel like I can get some kills. So I will TP mid, and I will help my team. So in a way, my team is dying a lot, and I have to help them create space for me. And if I could do it by myself, it's fine. This is a very risky play. I don't recommend it. But sometimes it's very good if the enemy is diving your team. As a carry, you can help your team as well. Even though it's their job to make space for you, sometimes you can help them in team fights and make space for yourself as well. So at this point, the PA is going to be like, oh, so the anti-mage is joining fights, but I'm not. He also has a Battle Fury, so he's farming faster than I am. And he's very worried about this, right? He's not helping his team. At the same time, he's also underfarmed, and this is giving him a lot of mental pressure. Now, even though this was a really bad play, I would say, we get the Ember over here, which turns out to be nice. If I die here, my game was probably ruined in a way. I don't die. I'm quite lucky enough not to die here. It turned out good. So that's why I say TPing as a carry is not recommended, and it's very risky, but sometimes it pays off. And it did pay off here. If I died, it would have been a completely different scenario though. So I'm gonna ask the Tusker to give me a self. Remember, guys, communication is very important in your pubs. He gives me a self. I'm back to full HP, and I'm back to farming. If you look at the net worth, I'm way ahead of the PA. Well, not way ahead, just like 400 gold, 400 to 300 gold. But eventually, I want to scale this up because I have a Fury, and he does not. He gets a Fury, and now he can farm as fast as I can as well. But keep in mind, guys, Anti-Mage is one of the fastest farmers in the game because of this blink. You move to the camp so fast, it's actually insane. So yes, at this point, just farming, cutting waves, farming, taking control of their side of the map. At the same time, I will be looking at mid as well, but farming, and only farming. Now, again, they're diving, and I want to help my team because I see that my team is getting slightly dumpstered. Keep in mind that I'm not really committing here. I'm just showing them, hey, I'm here, I can fight, but I won't really commit, which will give the enemy, the enemy will try to kill me, and this will give my team some kind of space to make a move. If you notice that the Tusker actually goes and kills the Tide, right? And this is pretty big because the Tusker gets like 1 level here, some gold, and he only does this because of me, right? At the same time, I do give up some farm for myself. I could have been farming here, pushing this wave, pressuring this tower. I could be doing better things here, but I have to take care of my team as well. If I don't take care of my team, eventually they will get dumpstered in every single team fight, and we will just lose. So it's a balance that I'm keeping in. And now at this point, I can fight because they're pretty low HP. If you notice, I'm still not committing. And now I'm gonna get a kill on the Earth Spirit.
Killing spree.
Here's thy reckoning.
And eventually it's just an Enchantress. I'm like, screw it. I don't want to get an Enchantress kill, whatever. It's just whatever. Let's farm. So if you notice with this play, now I'm like 1500 gold ahead of the PA, right? And it's also helping my team get ahead of the enemy as well. So not only am I getting ahead, but my team's also getting ahead. And it's just something that you want to practice as a carry. And this is something I practiced learning. Like I practiced this watching Miracle, and I learned it from him. He does it perfectly. Fighting and farming, knowing when to fight and knowing when to farm. I'm also keeping this Grove Bow on me right now, so I could hit faster. It gives you 15 attack speed. I just want the attack speed. The extra range doesn't do anything for me. But yeah, the extra attack speed is nice. It's like I have double my talent now. But now I got an Imclaw drop, and I want this Imclaw on me. So I'm back to farming. Almost 11k net worth compared to the PA's 8k net worth. My team's getting ahead. I'm getting really ahead. And I'm telling my team I want to Rosh because I'm very strong now. I have Manta. I'm ready to fight. And we can Rosh really fast. Now, I want to talk about this again. Using your team to your advantage. This is what I want to talk about. I'm using my team what they're pretty good at. One, we're pretty good at Rosh fight. Now, why are we so good at Rosh fight? Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp completely changes the game for us at Rosh fights, okay? Second thing, we have an Invoker who's going to help us with Alacrity to hit the Rosh really fast. We have a Slardar with the Corrosive Haze, some Bashes for the Rosh, and the Tusker's tag team. So I understand that our Rosh potential is insanely good. Their Rosh potential is also pretty good because they have a PA with a Deso almost, a Tidehunter who's really good with the Ravage. But again, we're much stronger at Rosh, and I want to get this Aegis. The reason why I want to get this Aegis is because I have Manta. And with this Manta, I want to make aggressive moves. But at the same time, making these aggressive moves, I don't want to die. And if I die, my game's pretty much over. In this game, if I die too much, my game is over, right? So if I have this Aegis, it's almost impossible for them to kill me twice, for sure, right? So that's why I want to secure this Aegis. And I understand how strong my team is at Rosh. And I'm abusing my team's resources here. And back to farming.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So I'm buying a Scotty here instead of normally what people would go for is Abyssal Blade here. I'm buying a Scuddy so I can be more tanky. Again, I don't want to die, right? So if I have a Scuddy, I'm going to be tanky. And it's that much harder for the enemy to really kill me. Now I wanna talk about this as well. I saw the Tide way before he even showed himself. If you notice that the creeps are life stealing, right? And I'm telling my team that someone is here, even though I can't see him right now. I couldn't see him in the game. But the creeps had Vlad's aura. And I was like, there's someone here hiding because he's nearby because the creeps have aura. And that means they want to take a fight here the way he's standing, even though they didn't. But in this particular scenario, I'm thinking, there's someone here and they want to take a fight. They're trying to set up on me, and I have Aegis, I'm very strong. So I try to find this Tide. And you can actually do this with a lot of things. If the enemy have Aquila, Willads, I don't know, Assault, Shivas, even a Shadow Fiend. Anyone who has auras, you can click on the creeps and you can see it if they're nearby. Villads is the easiest to see because it clearly shows that the creeps are life stealing. But you can see other creeps, other auras as well, if you're smart enough. Now, I try to find this guy and he instantly blinks out. And this is where the Aegis comes in that I was talking about. Normally I would have died here if I didn't have the Aegis, but instead I'm actually gonna get a kill here. I'm just gonna blink out of here because I know it's not the best play to be here. It's not a good fight, and I'm back to farming. What I do force is the Ravage, and that means now I can be quite aggressive again on the map. Without the Ravage, it's almost impossible for them to kill me.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's courier has been killed.
Behold, a subtle bird.
So once I get the Scuddy, I want to kill this Earth Spirit. I know I can easily solo kill him because he has nothing to save himself. He has a Yules, but if he heals himself, once he comes down, I will kill him. If he heals me, I can use the counter spell and he will eventually heal himself again, right? So with the Scuddy, I'm just slowing him, right-clicking him, and I kill him. Now, if you notice, this is not only a solo kill, but it's also a lot of aggression and pressure on the map. Now, what this does is, right, it forces the enemy to rotate bottom. If you notice, everyone's like, oh, let's kill this Anti-Mage. Oh, look at him. He's playing so aggressive. This guy needs to die. So, once I kill the Earth Spirit, everyone starts to rotate bottom, and they're not making a move, but they're playing reactionary to me. And this is what I love to do in my pubs, forcing the enemy to play around me instead of me playing around them. Now everyone's rotating bottom because they're like, oh, let's kill this Anti-Mage, he's so farmed, and you know, they're really pressurized to kill me. Now, the Ember does go for me, right? And what happens is that they basically compromise their position. If you notice that the PA is going from a bad position, the Kotto will eventually find the PA, and yes, the PA will die here. I won't die here, right? I'm gonna go back to the base, I'm gonna heal up, and meanwhile the PA dies for a Kotto kill, right? That's because the enemy is not playing on their timings, they're playing on my timings. Normally a good PA player would be like, screw the Anti-Mage, screw what he's doing, I will farm my BKB and then I will join the fight. But he's pressured by what I'm doing, and eventually he's making stupid moves, right? And he's fighting without his BKB and he dies to the Invoker like a creep, which is really good for me. Now I'm gonna even out-farm him harder.
Double kill. Double kill.
Now I have like almost 5k gold lead on him.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And it's only gonna go up and up every time he makes more mistakes like this.
He's mine.
And I'm forcing him to make these mistakes. So at this point, the game's pretty much over for them. I'm like just way too ahead of the PA. The PA still does not have a BKB, and he has basically no way to farm on the map. And they can't really stop me anymore. I'm at the point where I can just blink into tier 4s and just not give a shit about anything. And I know this. That's why I'm playing so aggressive. I know they can't really stop me anymore. Now I'm gonna go and buy a Vanguard. And guys, the reason why I buy it the reason why I bought the Scotty, the reason why I'm playing like this, is I don't have to die. If I die, the game, I will end up throwing the game. So I'm buying these items. In a way, they're quite aggressive and defensive at the same time. Scotty gives me HP, stats, slow. That helps me get kills, but at the same time, it makes me tanky, so it's defensive as well. The Vanguard, it gives me health and some damage block. And it allows me to make aggressive moves, but at the same time, it's also a defensive item. So it's enabling me quite hard, all of these items. I dodged the Ravage, going back in, killing the Pierre. And the game is pretty much over. Oh, never mind. I actually threw... I dived the fountain with the Abyssal. So I'm just gonna TP and I'm gonna clean up, kill them, end the game now. Yes. GG's. So, the conclusion of this game. What did I exactly do to win this game in pointers? One, I had a clear understanding of what I'm going to do in this game. Clear understanding, right? From the laning stage to the very end. My clear understanding was I have to outfarm this PA. Not by one item, but at least 2 items. 1 item is okay, 2 items is great. And that's exactly what I did. By the time he has Battle Fury, Deso, and almost BKB, I have Battle Fury, Benta, Scotty, and almost my MKB, right? I have like at least 4k lead on him, right? And that's what I wanted in this game, and that's exactly what I did. In the laning stage, I knew that I can't kill the Tide or the Earth Spirit unless they dive me and they mess up. So I'm just going to focus on CS, right? So that's 2 things that I focused on this game, and I knew I have to do this even before the game started. The third thing that I did, and this is something that I improvised as the game went on, is that I needed Aegis. And I knew that I have a Slardar, Tusker, and that Aegis is not only important, but it's very important for our lineup. If we're not abusing our heroes, if we're not abusing the resources we have, then there's no point of playing with these certain heroes like Slardar and Tusker. So the 3 big pointers this game was securing Roche at the right time, playing the laning stage in a much better way, outfarming the PA and having a clear mindset about it. And the 4th thing is my itemization. Normally people would go for a basher and they would go for kills, but since I know that I cannot kill people this game because they don't have intelligence heroes, I rather just go for a Skadi, be tanky, and just be a really big menace on the map. And that's exactly what I did, and eventually we won this game. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you with your carry playstyle. If you have any questions, you can always ask me in the Gamers Class Discord. I will gladly answer them. Thanks for watching again, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Shizzy signing out.